Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. So, thank you. Good evening. So, Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state, it is an act." And what he meant was that America's democracy is not granted, it is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. To guard it and never take it for granted, and protecting our democracy takes struggle. It takes sacrifice. But there is joy in it. And there is progress. Because we, the people, have the power to build a better future. And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very soul of America at the stake and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America. For our campaign staff and volunteers, this extraordinary team, thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process, and for making this victory possible. To the poll worker and election officer across our country who have worked tirelessly to make sure every vote is counted, our nation owes you a debt of gratitude. You have protected the integrity of our democracy. To the American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record of number to make your voice heard. And I know times have been challenging, especially the last several months. The grief, sorrow, and pain, the worries, and the struggles. But we have also witnessed our courage and religion of our generosity of our spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted. And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States of America. And Joe is a healer, a uniter, a tested and steady hand on a person's own experience of loss, giving him a sense of purpose that will help us as a nation reclaim our own sense of purpose. And a man with a big heart who loves with abandon. It's his own love for Jill who will be an incredible First Lady. It is love for Hunter and Ashley and his grandchildren and the entire Biden family. And while I first knew Joe as a vice president, I really got to know him as the father who loved Bo, my dear friends who we remember here today, and to my husband, Doug, and our children, Cole and Ella, and my sister Maya, and our whole family. I love you all more than I could express. We are so grateful to Joe and Joe for welcoming our family into their own this incredible journey, and to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Shamala Goplan Harris, who is always in our heart. When she came here from India at age 19, she may not a moment, but she believes so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible. And I'm thinking about her and about the generation of women, black women. Asian, white, Latina, Native American woman who thought our nation history have paid the way of this moment tonight. Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all, including the black women who are too often looked but so often proved they are backbone of our democracy. All the women who have worked to secure and protect the right to vote for over a century, 100 years ago with the 19th Amendment, 55 years ago with the Long Voting Rights Act, and now 2020, women in our country who cast their ballot and continue to fight for their fundamental right to vote. Tonight I reflect on their struggle, to their determination and strength of their vision, to see what can be unburdened, what can be seen, and I stand on their shoulder. And what a testament is to Joe's character, and he had an authenticity to break one of the most substantial exists in our country and select a woman as a vice president. But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
Goodbye!
Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibility, and to the children of our country, regardless of your gender, our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourself in ways that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. But now that we will applaud you every step of the way. To the American people, no matter who you voted for, I will strive you as a vice president like Joe as the President Obama, lawyer, honest, and prepare waking up every day thinking of you and your family. Because now is when the real work begins. The hard work, the necessary work, the good work, the work to save lives and beat the epidemic, to rebuild our economy so it works for working people, to road our systemic racism in our justice system and society, to combat this our country and heal this soul, our nation, and the road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready, and so are Joe and I. We have elected a president who represents the best in US, a leader the world will respect, and our children who look up to a commander-in-chief who will respect our troops and keep our country safe, and a president of all Americans.